Hi guys, Liz here. Today I am going to demo some different uses of the museum Aquarelle pencil from Caran. But first I'm going to make an inventory sheet for myself so I can see what colors I have. It's actually something I've never done before for this line. I think I was first gifted a 12 set from somebody, and then over time, every so often I'd buy 2 or 3. They are the highest quality watercolor pencil you can get, so they're not inexpensive, but they're worth every penny. So I'm going to grid out a sheet of watercolor paper here, and I'm going to organize my colors a little bit, and then at the end of the inventory grid I will demo some properties and do a sketch with you. For most of my demos for wet paint I will be using the Fluid Easy Blocks from Speedball now, and this is a 9x12. They come in a bunch of sizes. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so there are 76 colors in this line, and I have 40 with some duplicates, and I am just going to lay these out somewhat of a spectrum, I think, but I'm not going to get too caught up in all that because I am excited to make this, and I'll speed this part up. But yeah, as I mentioned, I'll do a couple demos of different techniques and a little art piece at the end of this video. Okay, so this is the dry application of the Museum Aquarelle watercolor pencils, and they're lovely and vibrant. You can use them just dry and leave it as is, but I don't think you'll want to. These are the most like a traditional watercolor than any other watercolor pencil out there. As you'll see as I start to activate the dry swatches. Okay. Try to hold that up so you can see that better. I just drew with my clear ruler and a mechanical pencil. I just did 1 inch by 2 inch frames across the page. So I have enough room for the clean color and to do a little drag of color down. And I'm using a Gray Matters size 6 round from Jack Richardson. These are a really nice synthetic watercolor brush. So you can activate that. The color names are not on my pencils. I think they started printing the names on them recently. I've had mine since they came out not too long ago though. But they're really, it's a perfect tool. You can travel with these, you can make swatches in a book like this and bring that along. It's probably going to be enough paint. They make a really nice portable lightweight palette for these, which I will demonstrate at the end of this video too. Look at that yellow, isn't that incredible? And it's so smooth you can hardly see the pencil lines. Some other lines of watercolor pencils, once you do your sketch and even if you activate the pigments, you can kind of still see the scribbles, which isn't bad, but it might not be the effect that you want. And these are smooth whether you're drawing directly on your paper or if you're gonna make a swatch on a palette. And ooh, that's pretty. And paint right off the palette. That's fun. All right, I'm gonna speed up the rest of this and get sent to the technique demo. All right. Okay, Liz is back with the Caran Museum pencils, the watercolor Aquarelle series, and I am going to demo a few techniques and then a time-lapse sketch of a variation on Van Gogh's 12 Sunflowers. Actually, first I'm going to show you a little test I did yesterday. And this is a little postcard showing some dry application of this product and then using it in a painterly application up top. Maybe I'll send that to wet paint for our summer postcard project. We'll see. So these mix beautifully on your paper or off your paper, and you can use these dry, meaning I haven't wet the page, and I certainly won't dip the pencil. You never want to do that because you don't want the wood to flex and your lead to get loose in there. I'm going to show you some marks and mixing. So when you do it this way, depending on how much water or how dry your brush is, I have words, you can choose to leave some texture showing, and depending on the quality of your paper, you can still get a pretty smooth blend if that's what you're after. Alright, so that was dry. One thing that they started to make when this product came out was this really handy palette, and it is lightly sanded on one side and it's smooth on the other. Just a nice sturdy piece of plastic. These are great. You can load up your pigment directly on this, and maybe you just want to carry this with you in the back of a sketchbook if you go outside to paint or work in your yard or park. And I will show you how to do that. Sometimes I rinse it off, sometimes I don't. I'm funny like that. Okay. So you can color directly on this palette and get a nice amount of pigment down. And I'm just doing a yellow, magenta, and blue to show the mixing abilities of these pencils. So there I've colored directly on the palette. And I can mix on the palette as well, and then paint directly on my page. And then you definitely just get a smooth watercolor look to your application. So you can see there I've used it just like a watercolor palette. And here are the dry marks and the paint right off the palette. And next I will color a little Van Gogh inspired vase of sunflowers. So here we go. I'll start light to dark like I would any watercolor painting, and I'll probably speed this up, but it should be fun. I hope you try this product.